bars on the markets today. At one point, the market fell as if down a well, over 700 points.
Apple shares are just getting hammered this morning.
We're down by between 3 and 4.5% generally across these markets. Let's talk about the speed with which we are watching this market deteriorate. We're red everywhere, essentially, down by 4-5%.
We're down over 16%. Dow at the same time has fallen about 18%.
The stock market is now down 21%.
Because we're now down 43%.
What in the world is happening on Wall Street?
Today, the Xetra DAX over in Frankfurt is down by 9%. The Paris market down by 9%. Austria, which was briefly suspended earlier on in the day, is down by nearly 11%.
This is what's happening. People are standing in line for hours and hours and days trying to get into the bank. You can exchange up to about $60 a day per person. And it's open this weekend on Saturday. So there's that bank. Indian Overseas Bank is here. The line goes both sides all the way around the corner, all the way to the street.
Greece's banks will be closed today until July the 6th, and there's to be a €60 daily limit on cash withdrawals. The measures were announced as the government moved to protect its crippled financial system following the European Central Bank's decision to freeze vital funding. The collapse of bailout talks makes the prospect of Greece exiting the Eurozone a likely outcome.
Maracaibo was once the wealthy oil capital of Venezuela. Today, it is a city with no cash, in a country that has recalled half of the money supply, unexpectedly. People scrambled to return the highest denomination note, 100 bolivars, following presidential orders. But the central bank could not handle the crowds. Waving their now worthless bills in the air, they shouted, "We want change."
35 quadrillion Zim dollars. That's what $1 US will cost you in Zimbabwe. The country has finally laid to rest its worthless local currency, giving Zimbabweans until September to make the switch to the American dollar.
Amongst the scenes in Venezuela, uniquely obtained by Fox Business Network, that show you what it's like when the money runs out and the tempers flare up. These are people in Venezuela seizing food trucks, anything they can get their hands on.
Bitcoin, there is no Bitcoin company, there is no Bitcoin building, there's not even a Bitcoin server anywhere that you could shut down. It is completely distributed. That's what's unique about Bitcoin. It is, for the first time, a way for the two of us to exchange value online without a third-party intermediary. Until the invention of Bitcoin, for you and me to exchange money online, we had to employ a third party, like PayPal, like Visa, like MasterCard, right? And we live in the 21st century. If we want to have a video call to China, we can do that for free. But to send a couple $100, which is essentially just ones and zeros being moved around, costs 5% plus takes over a day.
Bitcoin is exciting because it shows how cheap it can be. Bitcoin is better than currency in that you don't have to be physically in the same place. And of course, for large transactions, currency can get pretty inconvenient.
It's back, and this time this rally feels different. Not only has Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies begun to gather mainstream acceptance, the underlying blockchain technology has captured the business world's attention too. But there's still a lot of elements of doubt. I mean, let's face it, it's used in those ransomware attacks and a whole lot of unsavory transactions, legal and illegal. Yet some are saying that a single Bitcoin could be worth $1 million in just a few years.
We're seeing what we've seen a couple times before in the digital currency space, which is the market attempting to kind of fairly value this new asset, right? What we see is Bitcoin is just kind of the first implementation of blockchain technology, which I'm sure everyone's heard of at this point. Bitcoin's the first, it's the oldest, and it's got essentially the most interest and awareness around it. What makes it unique is that it's an open blockchain, so anyone can acquire a little bit of this and then trade it on.
What do you think has happened in the past couple of months that has
positives. Yeah, I mean, first thing, I think we're seeing continued growth in the fundamentals of the network. So when we look at the number of daily transactions that are occurring, the actual dollar volume that's being processed, I mean, every minute we see about $500,000 move through the Bitcoin network.
You'll see Bitcoin trading in 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000. Rick Falkvenia does an excellent analysis. He predicts that Bitcoin will capture between 1 and 10% of the global Forex market, which implies a price of between $100,000 to $1 million per Bitcoin. Most of the people who are on the sidelines not buying Bitcoin today will start to buy Bitcoin when it gets over 1,000. And then a greater percentage of people will definitely plow into Bitcoin when it starts to get over 10,000.
Bitcoin the currency of the future or the payment system they're developing?
Bingo! It's the payment system. It's the blockchain encryption, and they're interesting things. I think Bitcoin, or the really blockchain encryption that's behind it, has a greater ability to bring more of the world's population out of poverty than anything we've seen.